Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Arrow and how long it should keep going on for. In a recent interview with Michael Rosenbaum, that's right, the guy who played Lex Luthor on Smallville, uh, Stephen Amell was talking to him, and he kind of hinted that, hey, season 7, that's where his contract ends, and then after that, he doesn't know what he's going to be doing. Should he renew it? Should he continue? He didn't answer. So it means that there's going to be some negotiating coming towards the end of the season. This season, there's probably going to be some negotiations going on, maybe before the season starts. I have no idea. We know that they're filming right now for season 7, so. And Stephen Amell has been saying, before this interview, he has been saying that he hopes that this season feels like it's the last season of Arrow. He hopes it feels that way. That doesn't mean it will be that way, but he wants the season to go out with a bang, obviously, just in case he does think, you know what, maybe it's time to hang up the hood. I loved Smallville, and funny enough, Michael Rosenbaum was on a show that lasted 10 seasons, and he left after season 7 when his contract came up. Obviously, he did return for the finale, which is awesome, and, I'm happy I watched Smallville for all those 10 seasons. I think I've witnessed a lot of really great episodes during that time. I did a top 10 episode where I would give one episode from each season, my favorite episode from each season. It's one of my older videos. You can check it out. Just type in David Jordao top 10 Smallville episodes and you'll find it on YouTube. And yeah, so I really enjoy. I think there's an episode in every season that was worth the 10 years, Now, of course, some seasons are better than others, and Arrow has been the same thing. I think Arrow Season 1, Season 2 is the best. Season 3, half of Season 3 was really good. Season 5 and even Season 6 has been pretty good, man. I'm hoping Season 7 continues in the vein of Season 5 and 6, because I've been really happy with Arrow these last 2 seasons. Season 4 is the season that nobody wants to talk about. So yeah, I'd be like, okay, would I want to go into a season 8? Sure, why not? Season 9, okay. Season 10, sure, but could this be the last? I think it's great for any show to last as long as they can, just as long as they don't overstay their welcome. And I agree with Stephen Amell in the interview, because in the interview, he said that, look, where else can my character go? And he's looking at it at the right angle, that sometimes maybe producers and writers don't really look at it. They just look at, hey, look, we're making money off of this show. People are still buying it on Blu-ray. People are still watching it on TV. CW doesn't really need super high ratings to keep their shows on, as long as it's one of the highest rated. And Arrow has dropped its ratings in the last couple of years. This season has been the all-time low for Arrow's ratings. The only time it gets it back high again is when it crosses over with the other shows. The crossovers are always huge. That's why I keep saying to myself, maybe they should just cancel all the shows and just do a Justice League series, because seriously, that's what everybody really wants. People love Stephen Amell as Green Arrow, but at the same time, I think when the show hit on season 4, a lot of people really got fed up with it, especially with the Olicity angle. I feel Olicity has been fixed. Once in a while, it does get a little annoying, because as a hardcore fan, you don't want Olicity. You want Oliver with Laurel. That's the way the comics are. That's what the fans want. It's like not having Superman end up with Lois. And, eventually at the end of Smallville, Clark ended up with Lois. So even Smallville knew, hey, we got to keep some things that we know the fans want this. Let's do this. And it's interesting because the writers and producers have said they are fans of the material. So I do think this is a long-term plan. Like, Felicity is just temporary for now, because in any superhero show, you're going to have tragedy. And I'm going to expect Felicity one day is going to be written off, and he is going to end up with Laurel. The new Laurel right now, I think that's why they brought her back to the show, to one day eventually end it like that. But right now they want those characters to grow into those positions, and they knew the first Laurel wasn't working, so they brought in this Laurel from Earth 2. Perfect sense. But I agree with Stephen Amell. I mean, if you don't see any other ways to make this character grow, to make him a better character, then I agree. You should end the show when it feels right, because sometimes it does feel like there's some characters there that are overstaying their welcome. There's characters on the show, and this is something that a lot of shows don't know how to do. They don't know how to let go of some of their fan favorite characters. Game of Thrones, when they know they're done with a character, they kill him off. They said, we don't need you anymore, so we're either going to write you off or kill you off. Felicity has kind of overstayed her welcome. I didn't think she'd last. I really did think 2 seasons ago she was going to die. They didn't do that. So, okay, I guess we're going to live with Felicity a little bit longer. I don't know how they'll end the series, and if they do. I love Arrow. I think it's the best one out of all the 4 Arrowverse shows right now. I feel like Flash has stumbled into Arrow's footing, where Arrow was in season 4, funny enough. So hopefully season 5 of Flash will get Flash back up and running again, no pun intended. So yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. I'm hoping that the CW, I know CW loves to keep their shows on for as long as they have, but I hope that they don't. I hope for some shows they know this is when it has to end. I know iZombie is ending this season on its 4th season. I think it's 4th or 5th season. I know they're ending that show. So hopefully maybe that's a sign that, hey, look, we won't let this run off for too much longer. And you know what? In that same interview with Michael Rosenbaum, Stephen Amell also said that, look, he asked Michael Rosenbaum, when did you come back? And Michael Rosenbaum said he came back for the finale. And Stephen, he approved of that. He said, that's good, man. Like, he would do the same thing. I think Flash will go on for 10 seasons. I think that's what their goal is. I think they do want things to come back to the beginning, where season 1 showed us in the newspaper. It took place in the year 2024. By that year, Flash will be on its 10th season. And in the newspaper article, it said that Green Arrow and Hawk Girl were both there in the final, and the Atom Ray from Legends of Tomorrow, Brendan Routh. They said that they were there at the final battle to help Flash defeat Reverse Flash. And I have a feeling that's their goal. That wasn't coincidence. They had a 10-year goal in mind, and they wanted that to happen. And I think Stephen Amell would come back for the Flash's finale if that's the case. And I think if you're going to end the Flash, you got to bring back Arrow at some point in the final season, because Arrow's such an important part to this universe that they have created. He's the Tony Stark, essentially, of the Arrowverse. He's the Iron Man of the Arrowverse. And just like Robert Downey Jr. is important to the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think Stephen Amell deserves that same respect. So with that being said, guys, I want you to leave your thoughts on all this news. Do you think Arrow should finish its series on season 7, go out on a high note? Or do you think they should continue on after? I know a lot of people don't want to let go of their shows, but I'm getting to an age where I'm like, you know what? I want to live to see my final season. I don't know how much long I have to live. I'm 35 years old. Nobody knows their fate. And look, I'd rather have my show end while I'm still alive, not when I'm 50 years old and I have other things to look forward to, you know? I don't know. That's my thoughts on the matter. There's so many other ways you could look at it. So leave down your thoughts. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm planning on doing something with the Arrowverse shows, maybe a podcast. I'm trying to convince my brother to join me in a podcast where we will talk every week about new episodes. That way, Mondays to Fridays, I have enough time to do other types of videos. That's right, I'm planning on not doing no more Arrow and Flash reviews. Instead, I will put them all the DC TV shows in one video on the weekends to do that. So we'll see if that happens. Until then, take care.